Looking for a car you can count on? At AutoMasters, we offer a hand-picked selection of used and certified pre-owned vehicles priced right and ready to drive. With easy financing and expert service, AutoMasters is your trusted dealership from test drive to keys in hand. AutoMasters, driven by trust, powered by service. Visit our website at automasters06.com or stop by today. And oh yeah, tell them Sonia sent you.
She say sports. She say sports. She say sports.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Sonia, and welcome back to She Say Sports. Please welcome the commissioner and owner of Ball's Her Choice Sports Initiative and her nonprofit Let Her Be Sports Collaborative, Maria LaChelle Barber. Hi, Maria. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I am doing well. Thank you so much for joining me today.
I'm so happy to be here. I'm excited to talk to you.
Awesome. And speak up just a little bit for me. Sound a little low. Okay. So, Maria, I always ask this question, especially because I'm inquisitive, a little nosy, but when did your love for sport begin?
That's a great question, actually, because I am a theater girl. So I grew up singing. That's what I did. I only watched the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
My uncles brainwashed me to follow certain teams as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
But I actually did not fall in love with sport until I was introduced to flag football.
Wow.
Yeah,
Interesting.
that was in 2016.
That's wow. So 10 years, going on 10
Yep,
years. That's
yep.
awesome. That's interesting because my love was, I'm a music major. I play violin for 12 years. I have a band and, I sing around the city and I sang for the Mavericks, the anthem for 14 seasons. But my daddy, I love sports because of him. It started with
Okay.
her. So Miss Jane Kennedy. So that's amazing. So, and you just 10 years. Wow. So it's really just flag. Are you interested in other sport now or just flag? That's it.
Flag football, of course, I watch football,
Right.
NFL. I do enjoy basketball, but for me personally, I only work with flag football right now.
I love that. That's what's up. So Marie, you spent years in public service and leadership. Out of all of the sports you could have chosen to champion, what was it about the energy and community of flag football that made you say this is the vehicle for female empowerment?
Well, I have to say, I was introduced to flag football through a personal trainer,
Mm-hmm.
and he actually owned a league. And one day he said, "So, what about women playing football?" And I said, "Well, do I look?" And
Wait a minute,
so
say that again. I didn't hear you say it again.
I said, he said, he asked, what did I think about women playing football?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, do I look like I play football? And, he was like, wait, we have all shapes and sizes and all of that. And so
Right.
he invited me to a practice and I remember it like it was yesterday. It was almost like love at first sight. Just because I was not involved with sports, I was not an athlete or anything like that. As a matter of fact, I
Mm-hmm.
tried to stay far away from sports. But the first practice that I went to, I fell in love with it. Just the energy was different and it was so empowering. I
Wow.
to this day I do not play, but I love watching the ladies in uniform go out there and compete. And so having that experience got me connected to the league at that time and I became the
Mhm.
league secretary, and through that is how I built relationships with the players and everybody, and it just became home for me. I loved it. I was grieving the loss of my mom at that time, so it
Mm.
was a perfect outlet. So I loved it from the beginning.
That's amazing. And I know she's proud of you because even though you were grieving, you tried to get into something that kind of took the stress of the pain of your mom being gone, and it, even though you missed her, I'm sure it helped fill some of the space of her leaving because you were busy.
Absolutely. I was very busy,
Wow, that's
very
amazing.
busy.
I'm just floored because now growing up, in the neighborhood, I'm 5'9.5", so I'm a tall girl, but I didn't play sports at all. My sister is 5'5", and she is a killer on the court. She can play basketball, but I would play with the guys, just trying to be out there. But it just was not my thing. So I feel you, but I love sports because of my dad. So I got you. Wow, that's amazing. So, Maria, you often talk about making a lasting impact in every room and on every field you touch. What is the most common misconception people still have about girls playing flag football? And how does Balls Her Choice dismantle that?
This misconception is that it's not real football. We grew up with the concept. I'm a little older, like I'll turn 50 this year, but we grew up hearing about powder puff. It was
Mhm.
just fun and games, tutus, different things like that. But people are learning that this is real football, and what we do to dismantle the misconception is to increase the visibility of our games. Like we live stream our football games or we post
Mhm.
them on YouTube, different places, but we invite people to come and actually watch. Like these women are very serious. So my league is an adult women's league, but we
Mhm.
also do tournaments and things like that for the high schoolers. But these girls, they study film, they practice, they run routes, they do clinics, they do all the things necessary to be successful on the field. And so when I hear people disrespect the game, I say, line up against them. Get on the line and line up across from them
And
and
see
watch what
what's
you
up.
get.
Exactly. That is so interesting. So, um, what's the age group? You said adults. So what age does it start? Like 21 and to what?
So actually, we actually have younger, yeah, as young as 17 with parental consent, guardian consent.
Hmm.
And our oldest player has been 55.
Wow.
Yeah, so we have a wide age range, and it's cool because you see generations of athletes. It's
Yeah.
like my mom played, now I play, my daughter plays in high school, so it's really cool to see the sense of community with flag football. But yeah, so we have a wide age range, but we're actually creating something specifically for that 13 to 17 age group because
Hmm.
personally, I don't really like for the teenagers to play with the adults, but some of them have been playing sports their whole life, so they're tough. They can handle it.
Right.
Um, but we're trying to make way for that younger age group as well.
That's interesting. I love it. So, Maria, because your love for the sport has only been, a decade, you should remember this. Do you remember the first time you saw a young girl realize she could throw a 40-yard spiral or pull a game-winning flag? How did that moment shape your vision of the organization?
I will say, so Baller's Choice or BallHers Choice Sports, because we emphasize the hers in there. But we began in 2023. That's when I created BallHers Choice because there were other leagues in the area, but I'm the only one that, I created us so I could be responsible from top to bottom, didn't have to
Right.
answer to anybody. But in 2023, once we launched, we also had our first girl skills clinic because
Mm.
for me, who better to teach the girls than women who play, right? So we had a skills clinic. It was just an idea that I had to create an opportunity because in order for the game to continue, you have to bring the young people in, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
at this clinic, we invited Madison Fulford, who plays for Team USA. She's on the USA Team USA flag football team, and
Mm-hmm.
so she used to play flag in tournaments and stuff like that in the area. But she came, and we did drills and everything where they learned how to throw. So you could determine who's going to be the quarterback, who's going to be the receiver, who's going to pull the flags. All these different things And to see them girls pick it up so quickly, and then we did a scrimmage, and to see the arms on those young girls, it was just, I was like, okay, I am excited about the future of flag football.
Wow.
And so the even more rewarding thing is that some of those same girls, that was their introduction to flag, and then the following year it was introduced to our high schools here. So those girls actually try out and made their high school teams, and some of them have even now gotten scholarships to college.
Wow.
So it's just an amazing pathway of opportunity for these girls, and so it just fuels my passion even more, just to see not only is it football, but it's opportunity.
Opportunity, absolutely. So let me ask you this. Some of the players from 10 years ago that you first met, are they still playing now or they are still playing now? Wow.
I'm still playing because my league itself, we play 8-on-8 contact.
Hmm.
Excuse me. They play 8-on-8 contact. But several of those players that I met when I was just the league secretary working for somebody else are
Hmm.
now playing in our league. Some of these ladies have even gone on to become the coaches in the high schools, coaching high school flag. Some of them have become athletic directors. Like, it's just amazing to see, the growth of the game that is
Yeah.
continuing, that there's so many opportunities. But yeah, a lot of them are still around. The knees and the backs are a little older now. They've had a couple of surgeries, all these different things. But
Wow. But they're
I
still
like to
out
say
there.
it's really addictive. So yeah, we have a lot of them still around.
They're still out there. That's what's up. And it's good exercise, number one. And then it's empowering just to get out there and now wait a minute, flag does not tackle right. They just pull the flag.
They just pull flags.
Okay.
But if they're playing contact, so we have 8-on-8 contact and we have some 5-on-5 contact, you can
Hmm.
block with open hands.
Okay.
But tackling is not allowed.
Yeah,
They
that's what I
sometimes
thought.
get away with it. Yeah, take the penalty.
Excuse
But
me.
yes, it is not tackle at
Yeah,
all.
that's right. Okay. So,
If
it
you
has,
somebody, you got to come up with the flag.
right, absolutely. So, flag football has come a long way since 2016. This year in 2026, in January, the NCAA hit a milestone by officially adding flag football as an emerging sport for women. How does this change the conversation for the girls in your clinics who are now looking at college scholarships? And you mentioned some are actually got scholarships now or looking to get them. Is that correct?
We actually have some girls from one of our local teams. About seven of them got scholarships
That's
this
awesome.
past fall. It's just wonderful to watch, and the fact that it's officially official, because some of the
Right.
smaller colleges, they're like, just come, because everybody's building teams now, because all eyes on flags right now. All eyes on flag right now. So what we do, like I said, one of our main purposes is to increase the visibility of these
Hmm.
girls, because what's happening now, colleges are recruiting, they need game footage. So that's a service that we try to provide for our participants. Also, it's just you need something to keep you out of trouble.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
And those playing a sport helps you tremendously mentally, but also when you can have practice and all these different things, you learn time management. Like, you are not playing around when it comes to that. So, we really focus on player safety,
Hmm.
and really just that increased visibility, so people know that we exist. So we invite coaches to come to our tournaments, and they meet the players, they meet the parents, and it's just really a pathway to opportunity. So the fact that it's really an official emerging sport, it's a game changer,
That's
because
amazing.
also
Go ahead. Go ahead.
so we also work with the college club flag football teams.
Hmm.
Like this past Saturday, North Carolina Central had some games against Clemson. Sometimes we bring Virginia State. NC State, because right now they're still club sports, but the girls want to play, so we try to create opportunities for them as well. So it's
So,
exciting.
so how many teams are in your actual area in North Carolina?
Ooh. Um, so just for my organization, this past season, we had 9 teams sign up to play.
Wow.
And so that's just we serve the community. So
Hmm.
you have your former athletes, former college athletes, people who just want to get fit.
Right.
We're here for the community. But then, we're surrounded by universities because we're in the Raleigh-Durham area.
Hmm.
So, NC State has a team, Duke has a team, Central has a team, Meredith College has a team. So it's going to continue to grow tremendously. So I try to stay connected on
Hmm.
each level, just because my goal is to be a resource for these girls. My goal is to make sure that they're not overlooked. So I'm working hard to be visible and to get connected however I need to.
I love that. One more question before I ask the next question. Have you seen, because there's regular women football, then you have flag. Do you
Yep.
see some of the women football players coming over to flag or okay, wow.
Several of our ladies play both.
Oh, they
They're
play both.
usually
Okay.
Yes, they play both. Because the thing about a flag is that it really increases your speed, your ability
Because you
to
got to get those
maneuver on
flags.
the field.
Hmm.
Yes. And so they play both because number one, if once I say once girls taste football, flag football, they love it. Like there's nothing else that they want to do. They think we're supposed to play all year. And I'm
Hmm.
like, y'all, help us out for a little bit.
And what is the season for flag football? What is that season?
So it varies actually. Now for us, we do a spring and a fall season for league
Okay.
play. But when we're not in league play, everybody's doing tournaments. There's a whole tournament circuit. But now in the high school, they play in the fall.
Okay.
But the reason we're launching our high school this spring is because they want to play in the spring too. So we'll be the community, the fun and recreation. We'll be the recreational league. So they can play in the spring and then they'll play with their high schools in the fall. And also not every girl makes the high school team. So those girls want to play too. So it's never ending.
I
It
love that.
never ends.
That's interesting. Um, So, Maria, with flag football debuting in the Olympics in just 2 years, congratulations. And you're seeing a gold medal fever. Are you seeing a gold medal fever in North Carolina leagues?
Will say so Team USA, they do a lot of their practicing in Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
So Team USA is the national flag football team. They have a men and a women's team. So of course there's a lot of eyes on that. That's through USA Football. So they've won the they've won the gold medal. I think the last year they won bronze, I mean silver. Um, so the goal, they all want to go to the Olympics. Now,
Mm-hmm.
for my league itself, like I said, I'm in the community. So there, of course, are some high school girls who are thinking about it. Um, but it's mostly in the higher level teams, like I said, Team USA. But
Mm-hmm.
there are people they try out for those spots to be on Team USA.
Mm-hmm.
They do a lot of USA Football does a lot of ID camps to help them identify the best talent in the area. So a lot of players do go and try out for that. So it's people want to go.
That's what's
People
up. So
want to go.
how is Balls Her Choice preparing local athletes for potential national pathways?
What we do, like I said, is we serve the community.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to increase visibility where we can. But most of the time, if they are interested in going nationally, they're
Mm-hmm.
usually not going to play just for community recreation. They're
Gotcha.
going to definitely be trying out for those ID camps. The benefit of being in the community, though, is that you learn, different skills, different skill levels
Mm-hmm.
here, and then you get to display those, with your high school team, and on the national level at those ID camps. It's really cool because they bring in, they're already recruiting, of course, they're looking for the best talent already, for the Olympics. So most of the time, most of my people, they're not trying to go to the Olympics. They just
Yeah.
want
They
to,
just want to play. That's what's
yeah.
up. So, Maria, you've hosted events like the North Carolina Clash Summer Classic. Why is North Carolina becoming such a powerhouse hub for women's flag football under your leadership?
Well, for one thing, like I said, I've been involved for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And some of my players, they've been playing even longer than before they met me. So flag football has been around for a long time.
Okay.
But what happens is under my leadership, they get an actual structured organization, where they know where they're going to play. They know that there's going to be an organized schedule.
Mm-hmm.
There is actually a place where they can come, they can bring their kids, and then they can play, because it's more than football. It's community, it's
Mm-hmm.
therapy, it's all these different things. And so it's continuing to grow as people know more about us. We get more teams. Like when we first started, we only had about 4 teams. And this past season, though, we had 9 teams. One time we even had up to 11 teams. So
Wow.
it's just going to keep growing because people see it as an opportunity to play. But it's not as impacting as, let's say, tackle. Now, some of them, they love put those pads and helmets on. But I think it's just becoming a hub because it's really an outlet
Mm-hmm.
for women, especially with the state of the world and just people having to endure life. People getting beat up by life a lot, and it's a place that you can come. And once you put on that uniform, it doesn't matter about the kids you left at home. It doesn't matter about the crazy boss. None of that stuff matters anymore once they put that uniform on and they line up across somebody and they snatch those flags.
I
So
love it.
it's yeah, it's going to just keep growing. So, I'm trying to get connected to the resources because we want to keep the pricing reasonable. But I also need to make sure that I eat.
That is correct.
So, but yeah,
I
it's
love
it's
it.
just
I
going to
love it.
continue to grow.
I love it. So, Maria, your nonprofit is named Let Her Be Sports Collaborative. Why was the word collaborative so important to the mission? And who are the key partners you need in the room to truly advance women's sports?
Okay. Well, collaborative was key for me. One, because as I've been doing this, I've realized the value of connection,
Mm-hmm.
the value of collaborating with other people, because I don't know everything. I'm really figuring it out.
Right.
But there's value in having resources. There's value in having mentors, people who have gone on before me, even if it's not in flag football, but just
Mhm.
in entrepreneurship in the sports industry. So that's why collaborative was key. Also, it's a mixture of not just sports, but also clinics. We had our first females in flag referee clinic, because once you
Mhm.
stop playing, you still want to be connected to the game. So a lot of
Mhm.
them they want to become officials. Even the men who officiate our games, they're getting opportunities with the NCAA, with the CIAA,
Mhm.
with Conference Carolinas, because of BallHers Choice Sports. So it's all encompassing. We want to do the player safety and all these things. So key people are, the people in the community who are doing the things that I want to offer to our community. Like
Mhm.
in March, we have a youth mental health first aid training where we're partnering with communities and schools. So they had a
Mhm.
grant where they could train people to get certified in youth mental health first aid. Well, a lot of my players, like I said, they're in the school system. So that's a collaboration where they can get trained to better impact our community.
Mm-hmm.
So people who want to donate, we need those people. We need an AED machine because we want to
Right.
have player safety. We need first responders, all these different things. So as we grow, like I said, I'm learning the importance of being connected to other people. Um,
I love
because
it.
that's really the only way to succeed.
That's true.
I try to control as much as I can, but I need help sometimes.
I, I do. Trust me, I'm the same way. I do understand. So, Maria, you emphasize, speaking of school system, you emphasize providing a positive environment for girls to grow and thrive. In a world where girls drop out of sports at twice the rate of boys by age 14, how does your programming specifically keep them engaged? And I know you deal mainly with adults, but you say you have been dibbling and dabbling working with the youth. How do you try to keep them engaged?
For me, is building their confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of times that age group, which is why we're expanding to a younger age group, it's at those ages where your perception of yourself impacts how you see the world, how you see yourself, how
Mm-hmm.
you move in the world. And so sports teach that confidence. It teaches leadership. It teaches you how to follow and to lead, because you need both to be
That's
successful.
true.
It teaches you to be confident in the decisions that you make, to actually learn how to be a friend, how to support somebody,
Mm-hmm.
to have somebody support you, because a lot of times these children have problem at home and they find family with their team. And so my goal is to be an arc of safety, like where you can come, you can play, you can grow. And a lot of times what I see in the women is it creates a way for that little girl that's inside, that little
Mm-hmm.
girl who was not worrying about her bills, that little girl who could just go outside and play, get on
Yeah.
the swings, all those things. So we create the opportunity for that little girl to come outside and play. And so we want to be able to build a community, a safe space where girls can come, they can learn the game. And a lot of times the women know the game better than the men because we pay attention to the details. We want to
Mm-hmm.
know what's happening, when, where, how, why are we doing this? And so, and I love to see it. So, I'm really excited about the future and what we're
Mm-hmm.
doing, and I'm trusting the process, because I believe I'm at the right place at the right time, and it's just going to really impact a generation of young people, through flag football.
I love that. So, Maria, skill clinics and tournaments are the visible part of your work. But what are the invisible life skills like leadership, resilience, service that these girls are taking home with them?
Yes. Some of the invisible things are, um, I would think the biggest thing is the belief in themselves,
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of times, the self-esteem, sometimes struggle.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you're looking for, um, you're looking to outside sources for support when it all really starts with you. And so that inner work develops as you become an athlete. That first time you pull a flag, the first time that you successfully make a touchdown, those things really impact you internally. So not
Mm-hmm.
only are you making making moves on your team, but internally you're seeing growth as an athlete. And so, yes, we do the skills clinic. We teach them how to swivel those hips. We teach them how to stretch, take care of themselves. And that's another thing too, is the self-care that it takes to be an athlete. Like you have to hydrate. You have to eat halfway decent, even though sometimes I'm really disappointed in these girls. Like, what are you eating? Um, but it really teaches you that you have to stretch. You have to do
Right.
things to take care of yourself to be an optimum athlete. And you only learn that by playing the game. And so yeah,
That's
I
true.
hope
You definitely need the
question.
right fuel and hydration and the
Yes.
right, a proper rest in order to perform. So you're right. That's good advice. So Maria, you're running an LLC and a nonprofit simultaneously, and that's a major feat. How has your background in public service helped you navigate the business side of sports management?
Something.
Huh?
It is. I said, let me tell you something. It is a feat. I am very much learning. With the nonprofit, we're just really getting started
Hmm.
this year.
Okay.
Um, so I'm pulling in, like I said, that collaboration. I'm pulling in my team of people to help me because
Mhm.
I also work a full-time job. So it's a lot to manage. But the thing is, when there's something that you're passionate about,
Right.
you just get it done. But my background in public service has taught me to look at the bigger picture. Like,
Hmm.
what is the purpose of this? You know, being
Right.
a public servant, you learn it's not about you, but it's about serving the
Hmm.
population.
Right.
And so that's my fuel when I'm falling asleep working on a schedule. When I'm trying to, like, we were supposed to have our Women in Sports Summit last month to
Hmm.
celebrate National Girls and Women's Day. It was going to be January 31st, but the weather caused us to have to cancel.
Right.
Um, so, but just when things like that happen, the challenges, the frustrations, when players fight on the field, different stuff like that. It's just a reminder that I am here to serve this population and I do it the best way that I can.
Right.
And but it does have its challenges. But I'm learning to ask for help. I'm learning to connect and build relationships so that I can make this be successful.
That's right. Delegate.
Yes.
Delegate. So you won't be
Yes.
so bogged down.
I'm learning. I'm learning. I'm
I
building my
understand
team.
because
So
when it's your baby, like she say sports is my baby. So I'm very particular about her. And you know, sometimes when you ask for help and you don't get it the way you want to do it, you got to learn and do it yourself. So I get it, but still delegate. Don't put a lot of stuff on yourself.
yes, I'm learning and I'm grateful that I'm being connected with good people
That's good.
because that makes a difference. And
Hmm.
people who are passionate about what I'm passionate about. I
Right.
want you to care that I want to keep the prices reasonable. I want you to
Mhm.
care that I really want to do this clinic. So I need help.
Right.
So I'm learning. I'm
That's
learning
good.
to
That's good.
to release some stuff sometimes.
Right, that's true. So, Maria, you strive to celebrate the achievements of females in sports. If you could give one piece of advice to a female professional looking to enter the sports industry today, what would it be?
I would say go to as many women in sports workshops as you
Mhm.
can.
Yeah.
I went to my first one in 2024. I volunteered. It's emerging women in sports with the Durham Sports Commission,
Mhm.
and I went there and I had no idea that women in sports that the world was so big. Because sometimes when you get into this industry, because it's often male dominated, you
Mhm.
feel like you're alone. You don't know who to talk to. Because a lot of times you're getting brushed off. You're
Right.
dealing with being a woman, and then in my case being a Black woman,
Yeah.
and I felt so alone. But going to that summit was such an eye opener. I met all these athletic directors and all these people running these organizations, and it just opened my eyes to a whole new world, and it really gave me fuel. Like, it rejuvenated me, it
That's good.
revitalized me to see that. And so I encourage people, when I'm talking to my players who are teachers and things
Mhm.
like that, I'm like, if you want to do something in sports, get yourself to these summits, because
Mhm.
networking and really just learning what's out there, because I had no idea, because I was not an athlete. I didn't play sports.
Right.
And being in flag football, even though all the players are women, all the coaches are men, all the leaders in our governing body were men, so it was like, wow, all these women in sports exist. So I said, go to a summit. And then I also say, don't doubt yourself.
Yeah.
Don't doubt yourself. If it's something that you want to do, I highly recommend that you just try it. Just jump out of the pool, get you some floaties, and
and kick.
just
I
get out
love
there,
it.
because you have to, like, because a lot of times we are our worst enemy,
Mm-hmm.
because we're the first ones to hear the words in our head. So we
Yeah,
have to speak that life into ourselves and just say, hey, what I don't know, I can learn. Because it's a lot of
that's right.
people out there doing a lot of stuff and they don't know much.
That
So I say, do not discount yourself, because that almost kept me from starting the league, because I didn't think I was qualified, because I didn't play. I didn't think they would listen to me. And when I
same
did
here.
it, they were like, we've been waiting for you. We were like, we knew you were behind the scenes. We've been waiting for you to come lead us. And
Wow.
so just don't doubt yourself. Just do it. Try it. Get connected with some good people, and be willing to take instruction, guidance, and just do it.
I love it. Maria, thank you so much for joining me today. But before we go, we play a little game that's called What You Know. Now, because you don't really know a lot about sport from,
Yeah.
it's sport questions, but it's okay. We're just going to have fun with it. Okay. So you answer the best you can, and it's multiple choice.
And
So,
first of all, tell your audience, do not judge me.
oh no, trust me, this is just fun. I learn so much when I do these questions because I've been watching sports since I was 5, but it's a lot of stuff I don't know still. So, and then I was a basketball girl more than I was football. The last 15 years, I've been more football because basketball is just not the same anymore for me. So I sound like Monica from Love and Basketball, but it's just not the same for me anymore. It's just not. So, I'll ask you a few questions and you choose the one that best fits you. This is just a way for the listeners and myself to get to know the guests better. So it's okay. So, and I said, just guess. Which two teams did OJ Simpson play for? Was it the Bears and Lions, Bills, 49ers, Saints and Oilers, or Colts and Raiders?
Well, option number one.
The number one, Bears and Lions. It's number 2, Bills and the 49ers. No big deal. Bills and 49ers. Which team had 2 quarterbacks? I know you don't know this because I didn't know it. Which 2 teams had 2 quarterbacks named Billy Joe in 1999? Was it Saints, Buccaneers, Rams, or Titans?
I'm just gonna guess.
Just guess.
So okay.
Which 2
I'm
teams
gonna
had
say the
2
Buccaneers.
quarterbacks?
I'm gonna say the Buccaneers.
Buccaneers? It's
Yeah.
the Saints. The Saints.
Well, I learned something new today. Oh, well, I
That's
learned
okay.
something. Yeah, 2
That's
times.
okay. It's just fun. And yeah, it's just fun. When when did the Baltimore Ravens win their first Super Bowl? Was it 2009, 2001, 1999, or 2013? 2009, 2001, 1999, or 2013?
1999.
Dang it. I was hoping you 2001. You were close.
I was 2001, but either way, now I know the answer.
That's right. You know the answer now.
Yes.
I know you don't know this one, but oh God. Cause
Listen, the audience is learning with me. We're learning
that's
together.
right, we're learning together. What is the nickname? And we were still with Jesus at this time. What was the nickname for the 1967 championship game between the Green Bay Packers and Dallas Cowboys? Was it the ice bowl, frigid bowl, freezer bowl, or blizzard bowl?
I have no idea. I'm going to say the ice bowl.
She got it. I made the other three up. Good job. Last one. Who is the only commentator to call a Super Bowl on all 4 major networks? Was it Jim Brown, John Madden, Jimmy Johnson, or Terry Bradshaw?
Terry Bradshaw.
John Madden. Rest in peace, John Madden. He did all 4. That you
Okay.
know what? And it's my fault also. I forgot to do questions for you today, so this is an old question. These are for former NFL players that actually played in the league, so they knew all of them. So I apologize. So it's okay. But you got one right out of 4.
I will take it. There's a few points is better than 0 points.
It's better than 0. Exactly. Maria, tell the listeners how they can follow you on social media and donate to your cause.
Okay. Well, you can follow us on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok at BallHers Choice Sports. So it's BallHers Choice Sports. You can connect with us online at BallHersChoiceSports.com. You can follow me personally at Maria LaChelle on Instagram. So that's MariaLachelle. If you would like to donate to us, please send us an email. Our nonprofit is new, so we're still establishing everything, but we are legit. We have our tax ID number, so it is totally tax deductible. So feel free to send us an email if you would like to donate. We also offer advertising with our Facebook. We do a weekly, well, not weekly since we're not in season, but when we're in season, we advertise businesses through our platform. We have over 11,000 followers on Facebook and Instagram. So we'd love to help you as you help us. So please support women in sports. We need you. We want you in our I was about to say audiences. I went straight to the theater. But we need you in our crowds to support these athletes. We all know the energy is different when people are there screaming and cheering and all the things. So
that's awesome.
Thank you for this opportunity.
Absolutely, and thank you for joining us. And guys, you can follow me on She Say Sports Facebook, She Say Sports 23 on Instagram, and please subscribe to our YouTube page, She Say Sports. Well, that's my show for today. Until next time, this is Sonia with She Say Sports. Hey, y'all, it's your girl Sonia from She Say Sports. Make sure to check us out every Friday morning at 9 a.m. on Black College Sports Network, YouTube, and Linktree. And please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube page.